started to fall, and where were you? How could I know you were falling too? Grabbing the wind, cutting my skin, but it's hard because I'm falling. Tell me why I'm falling. Oh, life's calling, but it's hard because I'm falling. Falling, 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 falling,
Throw a rock into a pond, ripples fade away. Human hearts aren't so lucky, those battle scars remain. Oh, I can't let go of the one thing I wanted most. I'm chasing echoes, echoes of your ghost. Can't let go of the one thing I wanted most. I'm chasing echoes, echoes of your ghost. La da 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 da, la da 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 da, la da 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 da.
It's amazing how much I love betting on esports. It's so cool. What's even better is when I can use Cash Out. Wait, you didn't know about Cash Out? Cash Out is when you can get your stake back even when your bet is going against you. Just one hit and your money is safe. So go to LOOT.BET to cash out now.
Hello, and welcome to this one. You're watching LOOT.BET Season 7, everybody. We've got two stunning best of threes coming today. Of course, starting with AGF versus Hard Legion. We're not done there. We've got Hellraisers versus Fate coming up in about 3 hours' time. But we've got to dig our teeth into this monster of a series first between these two teams. And I've got to say, Flakes, I feel like AGF have drawn maybe the short straw in this tournament. They had to play Nordvins, a team that they probably don't have many chances against in the round 1 of this Swiss system. Round 2, they had a couple of chances, but obviously round 3, it's, well, back to basics with Hard Legion. I think they're going to find this series very difficult.
It's really not been ideal for them, has it? It's definitely drawn the short straw, as you've mentioned, now positioned against a team like Hard Legion, who are on form right now. Hard Legion have had some solid results recently, obviously not having the greatest of times against the likes of Nordvin, losing 2-0 there, but that was a best of 3, which, if I recall correctly, was actually pretty close. It was a 16-12 and a 16-10 on Inferno and Vertigo, respectively. Those aren't bad stat lines, especially given Nordvin scored a 12-3 half on their T side to start things off. So even making Inferno a fight shows that Hard Legion are on form right now, to say the least, despite them not being able to close out that game. They've also took some good wins, though. They took a map off Illumina. They were able to take a map off Complexity. So definitely showing up currently. In comparison, this AGF lineup have pretty much struggled across the board against any real notable team. They've done well against a few of their Danish counterparts, taking down Ambush, taking down Sigma, but against any real opposition, like the likes of Hellraisers or Apex, it's been a downhill affair. So suffice to say, a worrying situation for the AGF side, and I think the odds reflect that too. Of course, our partners at LOOT.BET have brought us some numbers for this game, and last time I saw them, they were 2.9 to 1.37. That is pretty brutal, favouring Hard Legion, of course, quite significantly.
Yeah, massively one-sided in terms of the numbers, and I think that's just down to how consistent Hard Legion almost always are. It's surprising that they're in this 1-to-1 bracket nevertheless. Obviously, not getting through is one of those first teams over to playoffs. However we cut and slice it, they're going to have to play a 4th round matchup. Maybe not expecting that with this team as one of the top rosters in this whole tournament. Nevertheless, let's get into the action. We start with this pistol round. Netric, he's picking up the utility on this CT side, whereas Hard Legion going for full Kevlar, a bulldozer effect perhaps, towards one of these bomb sites. And you see Frozlev just trying to get that initial information towards second mid. I don't think he spotted anything there. He definitely didn't take or receive any shots. Unlike TMB, who absolutely rails that one. And that's a great start.
Is exactly what you want to see, isn't it? Quick USP peek and a headshot soon to follow. Lucky finding one more as well as that collapse comes in from Hard Legion. They're looking to take full-on control, and from there, given a choice, they can either wrap round through CT to the B site, or they can look to push on A. What they're doing here is interesting because they're trying to play to the mind of AGF, trying to see if they can bait them out into an early rotate, which they've done really well, actually, causing those mid-rotates to come through while not committing to anything. Now it's on them, though, to win the gunfights, and unfortunately, that's not happening. It's all well and good playing the mind games, but if you can't follow through with a swift hand, it's not going to work. And, well, you can see how quickly this has crumbled. Rage becomes last man standing. He will have a bomb on his back, but that will be all 40 seconds to work with. This is surely an impossible round for him to win.
Definitely doesn't look very doable whatsoever. Gets instantly shut away there by Lucky. 1-0 AGF. Yep, the dream start on that CT side. Often very difficult to get your money rolling, get those rounds rolling early. A lot of the time, if a T side gets off the mark exceptionally early, it's very hard to stop them at that point without any bank really built up. AGF will obviously go for as wholesome a buy as they possibly can here in round number 2 with a couple of SMGs in hand. That FAMAS and M4 being one of the sticking points. And Hard Legion, an instant investment. They don't want to let AGF just run away and roll off with 2-3 early engagements here. Funnily enough, if AGF are to win this, it should be an easy 3-0 on the board. So let's see if Hard Legion can halt that ever so slight lead very early in this one.
You say easy, but remember, these Tech 9s and pistols can be a lethal concoction if played correctly, if allowed to get close. That is the true test of Hard Legion. Can they break the distance? Unfortunately, they are held back by a barge pole, not allowed to get close. Those rifles pick them apart, and from their range, 2 HP. He may have Kevlar on his back, but this time still nothing more. Repeat of the previous round. He's last man standing. He's dead to rights. It will be a second for the CT side.
So I think something that's interesting about this defense is those rotates have come through very early so far. Pistol in second round, you can afford to over-rotate in some sense, knowing that the fakes probably aren't coming from Hard Legion. And even when they are, you're likely going to be able to hit those shots with the USPSs, permitting those Glocks or those Tech 9s don't get all too close. You're absolutely right. That proximity on the A-bomb site is really important. AGF just have to keep those pistols at an arm's length to feel, well, secure about it. And that's exactly why. Crad hits an instant one-tap, and AGF, stuck on the back foot, want to pull back a frag. That's almost one. Rage going down to 5 HP. This still should be a simple round, despite losing that first member. The SMG is unretrievable for Hard Legion, so something that they can't use in this execute towards A. I think they're going towards A regardless, knowing that there's a rifle on the ground. If they find one more pickup, it might be worth 2 rifles. But nevertheless, I think they're just kind of hunting for this opening pick, seeing if AGF's going to make any sort of a mistake. That hasn't been happening so far. The AGF have played quite a regimented CT side.
Oh, that's really nice.
That was
a great way to deal with these pistols, isn't it? Just get a couple of quick flash kills, eat them up. Yes, it's a FAMAS, so no money to be made, but look, kills are kills, and in this case, 5 on the board is exactly what you want to see. $7,450 to be exact in the bank, and we're at round 4. Rich as anything, and he doesn't even have to spend $1. Only, of course, choosing to purchase utility keeps him just at that 6.2k mark. So AGF going to be very happy with how things have started so far for them in this series.
They're also feel-good frags. They get your momentum rolling. They get everything pumped up on that CT side. Even a nice anti-eco ace right there. Early in the 4th, this will be AGF's first major challenge against the rifles of Hard Legion. I'd like to see Hard Legion actually test the rotates of AGF right now. Finding that kill on the A-bomb site and maybe ducking over to B. That seems like the only hole here. Couple of shots through that smoke, just missing for TMB. So unable to convert onto any of these rifles towards the bottom of Banana. Some decent nade damage has been done. So him getting tagged down to 50 isn't a massive issue for AGF, considering that Kinky, Sviat, both fairly low on HP. Similar-ish. Health line, Symmetric. That's a perfect flash through, and there's just nobody to punish for Hard Legion. It gets traded up and through, but yeah, Hard Legion again have to play from a member down. And this might be the first time that they decide to test towards this B bomb site, not ridding the server of that AK-47. That's something that's retrievable if AGF decide to go down towards mid through Banana for this retake, which is more than likely. The smoke place, the flash, only slightly connects onto TMB, and he finds one right through the smoke. Still gives Hard Legion an opportunity here, and he's unable to find the second. Lots of damage dealt, though, as his retake starts to come through.
Already not the greatest of starts. Losing that first player means only 2 players now remain to try and pull this one off. A great high flash will leave them blind, but only for a moment's notice. And unfortunately, they didn't choose to strike then. clearly looking to approach this round a bit like the Cobra, slow, steady, stalking their prey. Unfortunately, their prey fights back, and this time around it's won the duel pretty comfortably, chopping them right off at the head, as it is going to be a return fire from Hard Legion, one on the board, and they can look to build from here. The only upside for AGF is, and we've talked about this before, they got dollars in the bank. They are going to be able to easily rebuy going to this one, so the hard work isn't done just yet. Hard Legion know they have to face yet another buy round to have the shot to tie this one up 3 for 3. If they take this round here, 3 for 3 is easy as pie, as it'll just be pistols they'll face in round 6.
This is exactly what Hard Legion want as well, to change the pace of this game as of that initial round trio that AGF have taken. Really important for them to just get those early rounds on the board as well. AGF are going to win the game. I think one of the win conditions here is a very powerful first half, getting onto the 9-10 rounds, then just eking it out on their T side. I feel like Hard Legion are usually fairly consistent on the T side, and especially the CT side of Inferno. It's something that we haven't seen too many times in this tournament. They've actually been a little bit shaky on this map. Let's see how these fundamentals start to shine. You see those trades coming through favorably on the A-bomb site. Netric really just needs a freebie before getting back into this one. And the smoke's placed. Oh, he shouldn't have been able to find that. A couple of further shots through the smoke. It takes a lot of damage, but he's still leveled up these numbers, and that gives TMB a lot of space to move from behind. Apps should be a non-telegraphed angle. Rage can only put half of his focus towards this side of the map, and he gets caught off guard. Forrester 1 versus 2. He's got to breach and break both of these angles, and TMB a stunning shot. 4-1, and Hard Legion back to basics with the pistols in this one.
This is huge from AGF. I mean, they've appeared as a team who were, I mean, to be frank, I think some people went into this series expecting 16-5s both maps, and this would be over and done with. But what a start we've seen from them. They are here to play, fighting for their tournament life, and what a start it is. 4-1, and they keep on rolling, denying Hard Legion that quick reset, and ultimately denying them the ability to tie this up 3 for 3. Instead, they've got a gap of 3, and they're continuing to build from there. Not the greatest of starts here as well. Duels once more occurring towards Banana, but it's AGF who come out on top, leaving only Netric as they find Forrester and Rage in the process. AGF now feeling boxed in, they decide to take the fight straight to the B site.
This is where a couple of shots have to come through. Being held at arm's length. Unable to breach that one. And AGF with just a very strong start all over the board. 5-1. They've got that momentum now built. That cash is also starting to grow, albeit not blistering out of control. Hard Legion can actually break this one kind of quickly. But what is their buy going to look like? I think at the absolute maximum, it's just going to be a couple of sets of pistol armor here in round number 7. That's going to allow AGF to just burst their way onto this 6-1 scoreline. I think Hard Legion need a bit of a change of pace in this first half. AGF with the dream start, and, well, the majority of the damage done by TMB. Look at that stat line. 12-1 to start us off for this one. Really impressive. And nobody from Hard Legion stepping up in the same way. A lot of the time, maybe we look to Crad. We look to, well, you could look to multiple members on this Hard Legion side. For AGF, you just need somebody. What's it going to be? Is it Lucky to step up? I don't think that they've got the same name value to their star power. Whereas Hard Legion, well, they eat the instant pause as soon as the going starts to get tough. But we should be getting back into this game in the next couple of moments, as that pause will now come to an end. 5-1 on the board, the dream start for these CTs. Now their goal is to actually build that money a little further. They want to create a buffer where if Hard Legion do take one of these rounds, and in all seriousness, it's going to happen at some point, they want to have enough money to go for the buy-up in the next. They need to force Hard Legion into a position where they have to win 2 gun rounds in a row to even do anything in this half. Those consecutive rounds, always important for the T sides. And that's not the best of starts. Kinky, massive headshot on through, and well, Krad's going to try and move right through this Molotov here. I think that information was spotted, but rotating his way around to Arch, this is going to create a little bit of confusion in the ranks for AGF. You see the net trick is hyper aware, and with the rotate already in, Hard Legion are finally testing this mistake that we pointed out from the pistol. They're going right back to B. It looks completely free.
Rick is here. This actually could be huge. He's going to, albeit not be able to defend the side from being taken, but the fact that he knows this is happening and is in a position here towards construction to cause some damage, this could be huge. Escapes as well with 3 HP in a dream. Somehow he's still standing. This creates a very real chance at around here with TMB, the heavyweight of the CT side, still standing. This could be something. The double swing comes through. Somehow the Tech 9 takes down TMB, but the trades are thick and fast. The burst from the SMG, they are getting it done. Forrester becomes last man standing, and it's a simple 2v1 affair. It will be an AGF round despite a great attempt from the Hard Legion side.
What a round. AGF just won't slow down here. Hard Legion, I would say that that's the
It's
perfect
amazing
round.
how much I love betting on esports. It's so cool. What's even better is when I can use Cash Out. Wait, you didn't know about Cash Out? Cash Out is when you can get your stake back even when your bet is going against you. Just one hit and your money is safe. So go to LOOT.BET to cash out now.
You see, that was the game plan for Hard Legion directly from going into that one. Try and bait the defense away from the B setup, maybe with a kill towards the A bomb site, albeit you have to hit that frag. But it absolutely was. It then did force the rotate over, and Hard Legion somehow still don't win it in what I might add is quite a favourable situation there. Retakes on the B bomb site go very wrong very quickly for CTs. But not that time. AGF 6-1, a nice decisive lead to start. Now they've got to capitalize off this, keep this, fend off these rifles. Albeit they haven't been challenged very much by these rifles thus far. But when is Hard Legion going to step up? I'm expecting it any moment now, but another crossfire in place. And Hard Legion aren't finding the frags here. Frozlev, 2 quick kills. Kinky's able to trade it back, but Dafu right through that smoke. The bomb is out in the open, and Kinky's versus 3. He spots out that solo B defense, but with the wrap back to B here for Netric, this is genius. He can just try and delay this setup for as long as possible, allowing the rotates to get through. Kinky's got a puzzle to solve on this B bomb site, and if he doesn't solve it in the next 2 seconds, the round's pretty much over, and it's 7-1 already, Flakes.
I've never seen anything like it. AGF bringing a hell of a result right now. TMB is playing like an absolute titan. His teammates are stepping up around him as well. They're all doing their bit, and it is looking like an impeccable CT side. This really is something else. Hard Legion, where are you this morning? You've not turned up to play some Counter-Strike. This has all got a bit wrong.
Yes. Very early on this Sunday morning, and Hard Legion still snoozing in Inferno. They've got to wake up soon, otherwise this is going to be a world-beating half. If AGF gets to the double-digit mark, that's more than enough. CT side on paper, you're looking for 8. If AGF don't find 10 here, I still think that they're going to be a little bit... This game's going to be very open, to say the least. They still, at this point, will need to mount a fairly decent T side. And up against Hard Legion, far easier said than done. 1 minute 10 in this 9th. And Hard Legion once again just prodding this aggression towards the A bomb site. They've breached that middle crossfire, and with only Dafu here towards quad side, he needs to be actually dealt with fairly promptly. Obviously, smoke down to isolate him, and it's the 1-for-1 trade. Hard Legion really haven't been getting very many of these. As soon as they find that first kill, well, it gets swiped back in, and once again from Froslev, it feels like he's routinely stepping up. Drops not just the bomb, but 2 members of Hard Legion, and ITMB is in just a disastrous position to isolate these Ts. Forrester versus 4 is just going to get cut apart. This looks like such a one-sided match thus far.
This is absolutely insane. I'm really reliving a song right now, which goes along the lines of how did this happen to me. It's a very somber note, getting a tiny violin out, I think, for Hard Legion. Probably sums up their T-side so far.
We all know that my violin impression absolutely sucks, so I'm not going to go for it today.
Oh, that's glorious. That is...
No, it's terrible. I'm not under the impression that I think that my...
It's like you're singing. Your singing is not much better
no,
either. But
my
you like
singing's phenomenal. I'm going to have a chart top 10 or something like that.
Are you going to be the next Christmas hit in the UK? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, basically. Maybe like Christmas number 12 and put it on my wall.
What an absolute nightmare I'd be living in if that was the case.
Well, all that's going to have to happen is CSGO's going to have to get really, really big, and then I get that call from Bob Geldof. Is he still going? Do they think it's Christmas? Squid 2022? Do they know it's Christmas? I don't know. I'm not the biggest Christmas guy. I'm not even the biggest
Which is
Christmas
the best part
guy.
about that. So there are so many things wrong with that statement that make it just glorious, but I don't have the time to pick them apart because I've got Counter-Strike on my screen. Drive-by Tech9 showing you what's up. Only good for 2 in the end. It will be traded, but if Netric falls here, we could be looking at a complete round as he gets away on 5 HP, but cannot do anything here. Cannot peak construction. Has to survive and wait for his team to come through.
And this is where AGF need to not let the rounds slip. Hard Legion are so good at playing from these sort of negative scorelines and somehow clawing it back. Maybe even AGF decide to save here. I think that that's the smart option, considering Netric and Dafu have 15 HP between them. Lucky, of course, full health, but not expected to do all too much, even against these unarmored rifles. Rage. He is able to take the first down in a way, but opportunity to take this AK out of his hands right now, and, well, he's running out of bullets before this push comes in. Brad's somehow still alive. He's going to gun for this further kill, and Lucky doesn't quite find it. So a bit of a stalemate at the end of that 10th round, 8-2 nonetheless, and this is where AGF need to slam into Hard Legion. If they're going to have this massive half that we're almost a little bit scared of right now, it has to be right here. If Hard Legion can start to mount this comeback, it's gonna be off the back of a round like that. Tech9 straight into the B bomb site. I think they've finally found what works against AGF. A little bit of speed, using all this firepower, not letting all of the pistons fire for this AGF side. As soon as you walk into that mid-stack, for instance, it feels like everybody from AGF is shooting at once. The swings come through, the timing's impeccable, and Hard Legion just get ground to a halt. This time, they go for a very similar setting, with Kinky finding the first.
Seems to be the SMGs, the Tech9s and whatnot, really working out wonders here for Hard Legion, to be honest. Yet again, it's that close-range duel getting a reward here. Netric losing his life as well as he wanders into Crad, who's just ready and waiting with the M4 he's recently picked up, and this is where the going gets tough now for AGF. They haven't really been tested too much because, unfortunately, the rounds they have been winning have been them taking the lead very comfortably, finding the first 1 or 2 picks. Now they're having to fight from the back here, and finally getting to see what they truly are made of. Great setup there from Crowd on the AWP. Missed shot from Rage might get dangerous here. He's going to get chased down. In fact, no. You have to decide, you know what, screw this. We're going to set up a flash, and that's not ideal because it does mean that the 2v4 really sticks and they have no way to play into this round.
So let's take a step back as the scoreline sits at 8-3. I personally think Hard Legion are still favorites in this one. Even though it's AGF's pick, I still feel like they've got what it takes to take this one over the line. This is the real deciding factor, though. AGF need to step up right here, right now, before that money becomes completely broken. The likelihood with 2 saves is they're going to go for the force buy in the next. Depends whether Froslo gets away here, and he doesn't. So maybe a couple more question marks of that buy, but, well, you can see the money is actually fairly decent. They'll have at least 4 rifles coming through, with Lucky able to drop another M4. And then Froslev, what's he going to be stuck on? Just a FAMAS? Maybe a Deagle? I don't think it's going to be too much of a difference maker here. I think it's Netric instead, with just that P250, but everybody else with a fairly wholesome buy. Just missing out on that 1 rifle. And now it comes down to whether or not they can slow Hard Legion to a halt. It feels like that team side have upped the pace. They're starting to hit their shots. We're starting to see the Hard Legion that we're used to seeing. Maybe not in this tournament, but consistently throughout that CIS scene. They never usually just roll over and lose a map of Inferno. I'm always a little bit startled when a team picks it against them, just considering Hard Legion are so good at grinding out those rounds when they really matter. And that's exactly the scenario we're in now. The rounds, they do matter. If Hard Legion lose a couple more, they're in a real precarious spot going into half number 2. Well, this is an opportunity. A couple of good anti-flashes there. Lucky only able to find the first, but there's still so many more members of this defense to deal with. Low HP on the next is TMB's the last line of defense. Netric finally going for the rotate, but a 2 versus 2 once more. And this is where an AGF's teamwork is going to be tested.
Looks like they're not debating even going for it right now. Slowly getting into position here. Wasting a lot of key time, especially given right now they have no kits on their backs. They'll have to think about where they're going to get them from. 20 seconds remain. For all intents and purposes, it'll be a 10-second affair at this point as they force Forrester out of position. Still yet to force the duel. Finally, it does come in. 10 seconds now on the clock. The kit's been gained, but Sviat is still standing. He's let rip, but no one sprayed him down. He's head in, somehow still standing. They are going to stick to the fuse. Sviat gets through, and 1, 2, left, right. Good night. Sviat makes it stick.
That is so devastating there for AGF. A must-win round if they're going to have a massive half. And it just doesn't happen. There's the pause coming off the back of it. They're in a real tricky scenario right now. It was 8-1. Their money was looking great. They had back-to-back buys. Hard Legion, well, they've broken it. Should be a freebie here for number 13. Hard Legion could get themselves that 8-5 scoreline. And now we're starting to look at the building blocks of a more acceptable T side. Hard Legion a good opportunity to even get onto 7 at this point. And as of then, I would say that they're slightly ahead. They've got the momentum. I think AGF are going to be slightly mentally broken after being so far up. And we do see that fairly often, I would say, where the underdog team, they get that great start and they just can't hold on. Seems to be the case right now, at least. Here's a dilemma, though, Flakes. What sort of a buy do you go with in number 13? I think the AGF should be going for just a couple of upgraded pistols, buying up to that $2,000 mark, giving yourself a full investment in number 14. But there's no guarantee that that's going to happen right now with them just running out of rounds.
What a half, though. I mean, this has really been wild, hasn't it? I don't think anyone would have expected AGF to be sat at 8 rounds on their CT side. Despite now starting to fall away from things, I think it's fair to say Hard Legion is definitely putting the squeeze on, should be able to find themselves a 5th tier as well. The fact they even have 8 rounds on their CT side is already an incredible scoreline in itself.
Yeah, no, it's actually a marvelous place to be. The sad factor is, I still feel like it's not enough against Hard Legion. I think they're gunning for double digits here if they're going to have that platform to jump onto a win. I think even a 10-5 scoreline, there are ways back into this for Hard Legion. I've seen so many lockdown CT sides from them. And, well, Johnson here today. Bit of a firing range to start things off, just trying to farm that cash. But there's the first rifle falling. Sviat goes down early. There is an opportunity, and there is the wrap inside. Now the bomb has to get to the B bomb site, but that smoke is, I guess it's ideal. It allows Rage some spacing up. Banana and another headshot nailed. AGF really a chance here. Hard Legion, this is a round that they must win. And Kinky in a 1 versus 3, trying to pull back the numbers. A perfect Molotov that forces the AK out, but Lucky nails the shot. 9-4, and AGF back to winning ways.
This is insane. Now looking for a 10th as well. Beyond securing a half, now they're racking up the rounds. Hard Legion faced with a tough call. To force or not to force? That is the question. Looks like they've made the decision to invest into this round in full. But it will mean Galils and whatnot come out to play. Potentially just a Deagle on Rage. I don't believe there'll be a gun drop for him just due to how the money's panned out here. So, all things considered, great utility for Hard Legion, but firepower? Well, you've got a core of 3 to rely on, a Galil or Forrester maybe thrown into the mix, but far from ideal. And you see AGF realizing this, they start to punish them already, taking full banana control, as well as using some of the utility for what looks like to slow down an aggressive apps play as well. In fact, AGF, they just keep on rolling. They just keep on rolling. This is ridiculous. He's going to line up one, should be able to make it a second as well. TMB then drops the bottom banana smoke. The audacity of this man this is ridiculous.
Okay, slow down. This game just got exciting. AGF, it almost felt like they were a little bit spent in this half as of the Hard Legion completely breaking their economy. And around like number 13,
he's still
this
going.
one back to back.
He's still going. Squid. There's no brakes on this man. He's got himself through with the bait bottom banana smoke into apps now. He's going to hear them moving around on short as he's about to play peekaboo with their defense. Spotting Kinky, peeks into one, finds the second, looks for the third, finally shut down. Someone put a leash on TMB, please, because he's on an absolute riot right now. Forrester becomes last man standing. 20 seconds or so on the clock to work with. He'd need 4 players in order to make this a success. It is simply not going to happen. TMB, what an absolute champion.
Not going to happen. And it's just that confidence factor from AGF. It feels like they've got the wind back in their sails. Double digits, exactly what I asked for. An opportunity to take number 11 at the end of this half. And Hard Legion, they only have a couple of pistols to stop it. Not a single rifle on this T side. This is looking like the nightmare start for the CIS squad. And I don't know what the way back is here. I guess they have to just think about their CT side, hit that pistol round, get that momentum rolling, slow AGF down. But it's not going to happen right here with the pistols, surely. Early in this one, that name is an absolute barn burner. Sviat drops. And Hard Legion, they do find one in response. I think they can actually grab hold of hopefully a Mac 10 as well. No, it's an M4. So something to work with here in round number 15. And Crad, what a man to try and do it. He's got 2 defenders on this A bomb site to try and breach. And I'd love to see the pistols start to bait him in. Him not be the aggressive pincer first. Netric absolutely knows that they're going towards the CT area. Crad's hyper aware as well. So that's another rifle dropped. And TMB in the open needs another headshot. He doesn't find it, and that opens the B bomb site. There's Forrester to clean up this rotate. He's going to be right behind them. This is flawless timing. One, and perhaps even the second here. He's delayed Lucky for long enough and done so much damage. It's going to be half over, 10-5. Nevertheless, what a half from AGF. They just didn't seem to slow down at any point whatsoever. TMB with some phenomenal results. Left, right, and center. He's 24 kills against Hard Legion right now.
He's played absolutely insane. He really has. What a half we have seen from him. But not just him, the rest of his team as well. They've really played around him. Frostlev supporting him, 12 kills on the board. Dafu as well. They've all done their bit to make this stick. Just have to keep this rolling in this second half. This is going to be tough, though, because at the end of the day, they did that on their CT where they were able to set up and wait for the aggression. We did see them start to be a bit more forthcoming towards the tail end of that half, starting to use that bottom banana control to get out in mid, for example. But I'm curious to see how this will convert to them actually on their T side, taking control and how they can play as a team. I think this will be a different test for this team.
It's always a tall order to take Inferno against Hard Legion. AGF now at least has a chance to do it, where coming into this map, I would have said they had no chance whatsoever. They've got to breach this crossfire and, well, instantly get shut down. A couple of quick kills, and Forrester finally falls. A 2 versus 2, and this is the way back in. Krad also drops. Sviat has to do it all here. He's got the USPS in hand. He's up close and personal, missing a couple of shots. And where are the peaks from AGF? They're going for the wide swings to try and get towards Pit. He can now try and isolate these Ts, but there's a deadly crossfire in place. And with this bomb planted in the open, there seems to be no chance for him to get back into this bomb site. Netric giving him all of the opportunities here, but the USPS just isn't finding the connections. Here comes the double peek, and they're going to find that kill as well. 11-5 here. It just doesn't stop. This relentless pace from AGF continues.
What makes that so brutal is, and you touched on this in the round, Netric actually gave them an opportunity to find a 1 versus 1 there. He shouldn't be wide swinging and re-peeking once he's got to Pit. The swings before Pit make complete sense, because his goal is to get across. Once he's got across, all he can do is sit there and wait for the push. His teammates got him covered anyway. The whole point is they have that crossfire for the push. But by swinging, taking duels, he's basically saying, you know what, screw the crossfire. I'm just going to win the fight myself. And we all know that's how you introduce risk into the round. So he's very lucky he didn't get his head blown off there by a USP.
I think that also shows the confidence factor that AGF is rolling with right now. It could give Hard Legion a way back into this one. I also don't want to see them playing scared, but that is certainly never going to be the case by the looks of things. They hit all of these shots towards the B bomb site. The force buy just cannot connect with any shots once again. And Hard Legion, yes, they're gunning for this one, trying to find an opening kill or two to level up the numbers. But this is, on paper, an impossible retake right now. TMB might give Forrester a way back into this one, and, well, there's the Deagle. He's able to find at least the first. A 3 versus 3, but with the bomb ticking down, no kit in play. Hard Legion, this is impossible. And AGF's going to get their way onto 12. This is so, so brutal, Flakes.
The reality here is AGF have a very clean run at this point to the end of this map. 16-5, 16-6 even, all looking like very feasible scorelines. Simply put, Hard Legion don't really have much to play with in these rounds. Their economy being dictated a lot by the losses they're taking. The upside there is they did save 3 guns, so they'll have the MAC-10 Scouts, and I believe another SMG on the floor that Kinky dropped. Might just be the Deagle, in fact. So it does help them a little bit here, but even then, significantly different firepower in comparison to a T-side. This should be 13-5 on paper. Hard Legion then get a full buy. You drop that. Yes, you get your loss bonus, but nothing more. Still becomes very simple for AGF to make this sprint to 14-5, even 16-5 at this point. All the stars are aligning. They just have to deliver against 1 or 2 more gun rounds.
A lot of these upsets always fall a little bit flat for me. It feels like the favorites never play very well and maybe a lot of mistakes. That doesn't seem to be the case right now, though. AGF have actually stepped up, especially TMB. Namely, he's been the best player on this AGF side from start to almost finish. He's obviously got to take them over the line as well. But it feels like AGF have actually stepped up to the level of their opponents. I've not seen massive mistakes from Hard Legion. They've been playing some standard Counter-Strike, and AGF have just been besting them every single time. And where's it harder to do that than on the CT side of Inferno, where you're almost always going to be pressured? How many times do we see, those 7-1, 8-1 score lines to start, then start to close up, and we end up with maybe an 8-7, 9-6 half? Absolutely didn't happen. They're able to now find a 12-5 scoreline. They've completely outmaneuvered the defense here in round number 18. They've got the freebie of this A bomb site. It's handed to them on a silver platter. And this should be the 13th round with it. It almost definitely will. Hard Legion, they obviously have this investment that they're not going to save here. But AGF are in stunning afterplants. And this is going to take a miracle to stop the 13-5 from coming through. I think Hard Legion are almost just looking for exits to prevent this, well, investment carried into round number 19. So maybe they can force some semblance of an eco coming through after a couple of round wins. They need to control this T-sided money. But remember, if this is going to be a Hard Legion comeback, AGF are going to have max loss bonus at some point. They're just not hitting their shots. I don't know if we're seeing a usual Hard Legion. Maybe a bit of an early morning for them. But it feels like AGF come into this series hot. Maybe they've spent a couple of hours in the practice servers beforehand. They just seem very ready for this series right now. No mistakes. Let's see if they can close. This is often the highest and toughest hurdle to scale.
Perhaps one of the last opportunities now to see if there is anything left in the tank of Hard Legion here. We talked about one or two crucial buys. This is the first. Push comes through. TMB spotting the second orange player. Makes the immediate call to back away. He knows that's actually going to be really difficult for them to win that fight. So by backing away, they at least get to survive. Keep all five players standing here while doing a fair bit of unconfirmed damage. That's damage that AGF do not know they've done, but it'll definitely help them in the later stages here. Crowd being 41 HP. They've relocated completely towards its ARAP play. Kinky has the opportunity to put some work in from Library. They're not quite going to be aware of him. Makes the swing. Good for one. Yet to be taken down, and in fact will survive. As it's Rage on the site, putting in the work with the AWP. Close range shot on towards TMB. What a frag.
Very important player to take down at this point of the matchup. He's 25-11. That is such a one-sided scoreline. Can't even describe it. Kroslev just connecting with those shots. He's got a lot of these CT members to find before this bomb can go down, though. And Rage finally found. There's the AWP eliminated, and Froslev should put that to good use. Lucky finds one in the meantime. Now they know where all of these T's are, but it doesn't even matter. A couple of kills come through. Kinky's able to breach the crossfire somehow. And that's just headshots galore there on the A-bomb site. Felt like AGF gave themselves a real chance. And let's put that into perspective. How many times would we say that AGF even have an option, an opportunity in a 2 versus 4 against a team like Hard Legion? Almost never. The fundamentals of this CIS squad choke you to pieces in those scenarios. They're just going to overwhelm those Ts. The opportunity of getting a C4 planted almost seems null and void, but they breach those crossfires quite nicely, able to take away those defenders, pull apart those fingers of the A-bomb site defense, and they almost find 14. Now Rage is stuck in a very tricky scenario, and they're going all guns blazing into the B-bomb site. What is this, Flakes? Headshot after headshot. And Rage, he might be next in line. He's going to have to do something blistering here. And there is the first, but some more accurate shots much needed, and he only finds one. That's not good enough. The bomb will go down, and a 2 versus 3 retake.
To be fair, credit to Rage, he did get the second kill. So actually, he's done more than I would expect in that scenario, especially given he was being overwhelmed by SMGs. Unfortunately, it is just becoming a trading affair for AGF. They're finding a frag after frag here, keeping themselves in a man advantage in the 2-on-1. They get the double peek yet again. Netric with the headshot to finish things off. But I do want to jump back, actually, to round 20, that quick 2v2 clutch we saw, or the 1v2 in the end. although Hard Legion do have incredible fundamentals, that wasn't fundamentals that won Hard Legion that round, that won that clutch. We didn't see it, but Kinky, from his point of view, you could see just from the way his model flicked. We just didn't get to see his point of view, unfortunately. He landed a 180 flick headshot from sight to graveyard behind him. Now, in my words, I can't make that sound as incredible as it was, but trust me, that was a pretty damn tasty shot from Kinky. Without him landing that, that's another AGF round. They clutch it out, and they're already at 14, excluding the gun round we've just witnessed. So, all things considered, yes, Hard Legion, they do have solid fundamentals, and we know they're a great team. I actually want to discredit them for that, because at the end of the day, Kinky had to step up and go huge to clutch that round. That wasn't Hard Legion playing well.
Yeah, and I think that that's what's so impressive about what AGF are doing, is they're negating the factor of those solid fundamentals at every single hurdle. We saw it there on, as you said, on the A-bomb site. AGF just convincingly breaking that CT side apart. And when would we usually see that happen against Hard Legion? The majority of teams in this tournament just can't make a play like that. Those 2v4s and 2v5s are usually just impossible. That's where Hard Legion start to build their bank. But AGF, they're finding the kills and actually putting themselves in contention of winning that round. And just to say, Kinky has to go absolutely massive to even come close to winning it. Really impressive stuff. You obviously see the rifles come back out for the AGF side. They've got enough money to go for a bit of a scatty buy in the next if they lose it. But that's not what this one's about. If they beat Hard Legion this time, it should be map number 1 going to them. Yeah, quick kills with the MP9s. Nice little toast towards the top of Banana. And, well, there's the aggression to come off the back of it. I love this timing for Sviat as well. They know that they found those kills. They're not going to be leaving anybody on Banana. And if this just gets traded up evenly on A, then there's an opportunity. But it doesn't happen. 14-7. Such a long road back here for Hard Legion.
After all, not only is it a long road, but they do need to deny AGF from just getting 2 rounds. That's a pretty big achievement in itself. Upside is that they have broken the T-side already. Will be no buy, just complete Glocks in play, only 2 P250s thrown in on top. Just to give you an idea how easy this round should be. SMGs just can go in, grind them down, make some easy money, and this should be a simple 14-8.
It's amazing how much I love betting on esports. It's so cool. What's even better is when I can use Cash Out. Wait, you didn't know about Cash Out? Cash Out is when you can get your stake back even when your bet is going against you. Just one hit and your money is safe. So go to LOOT.BET to cash out now.
Back into this one. 15-8. Stunning start from AGF, and they need 1 out of 7 to close. It will be a gun round, just due to Hard Legion having a couple of successful results. The last couple are very clean, anti-eco as well. Puts the AWP in tow, but maybe, just maybe, having a couple of SMGs there might have been the difference maker. Oh, here come the headshots once again. The breach and burst onto the A-bomb site. Rage feels the need to get aggressive as Forrester just hitting headshot after headshot. Hard Legion stepping up.
At least they'll survive yet another round, and once more it'll be a broken economy for the T side, meaning a freebie comes into play. That means double digits for Hard Legion. They do make this one step closer, but scratch that. AGF are feeling confident, and they've decided, you know what, it's time for us to end this game. As a result, complete force-up comes in, Kevlar, Tech 9s, you name it, they've bought it. But it's only what they can afford, and that means a very, very limited buy. Let's see if they can put these pistols to use. It's going to have to be an aggressive play here to get a reward, and already a poor start. Rage picking off one for free. But a dual one at apps at least gives them a slight upgrade in firepower. As Krad's going to go wandering on through. They going to check for this? Well, there's the answer. They will. Netrick completely blind. That's a bomb dropped, and a Hard Legion advantage is now they have full control of the C4, full control of Banana. They do lose out to Lucky in the end, but still a very good position for the CT side to be in here.
Yeah, massively favourable. Just thanks to that HP,
That's a
but
huge
no
duel to lose.
longer.
That is a duel that Kinky
sad.
cannot lose. It's a drive-by Tech 9 headshot. Somehow, Kinky falls short there. And what that means now is the CT side suddenly have doubt. They have no idea if Frostlev is going to go rotating right through to B to flank them. Likewise, they don't know if it's going to be a crunch on towards A. So you can see Rage deciding, okay, screw this. Rather than wait and die, I'm just going to get aggressive.
Gives away his position, but steals back a kill as a response. I think Hard Legion is still aware that that bomb was towards the bottom of Banana, and Rage, he's trying to negotiate his position off the back of this. If he just watches to cross.
That's the big thing, is he's been heard jumping in apps. So Frostlev should know exactly where he is, and we'll just go hunting. You can see, literally, Crosshair locked into his position. That is such an easy kill, and it's all because of that Noid made in apps. It was heard from short, so a quick rotate through mid, watching second mid becomes an easy frag, and now the bomb should go down on the site, and we should be looking at a graveyard site crossfire play. Perfect angle, perfect headshot. It will be 16-9 for AGF, and what a result it is. Bagging map 1 in this series. It is their map pick, but bagging the map nonetheless. They put themselves on the right foot forward to take the 2-0. But it's about to get even harder, because now we switch things up. We go to the map pick of Hard Legion. And we see if they can make this series that one bit more competitive. Folks, do not go anywhere. This best of 3 is set to be a thriller. We'll be right back after the short commercial break.
It's amazing how much I love betting on esports. It's so cool. What's even better is when I can use Cash Out. Wait, you didn't know about Cash Out? Cash Out is when you can get your stake back even when your bet is going against you. Just one hit and your money is safe. So go to LOOT.BET to cash out now.
Walk with